have quite an eventful week to talk about. So this is your daily horoscope and energy reading for August 3rd, which is Monday. And I want to talk about, okay, so we have a Leo sun. So everything revolves around the sun, right, of a Leo. All the planets that revolve around me, how they influence me, is what is going to be aspected today. And that's really important to understand when you have Leo energy. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Leo energy because it's a spicy energy. So we have this Leo sun that just makes us want to roar. It makes us want to get out there. It makes us want to be authentic. It makes us want to just be who we are, right? And we have, in quincunx today, we have Neptune and Pisces and we have Pluto and Capricorn. So let's talk about your identity, your authentic need to shine, who you are in your deepest chocolate layer, like the person that you get to know after a really long time of dating. Like it's that special someone right inside you, but you don't always personify that. In fact, what you personify is your rising sign. And that's really important to understand in astrology, is that you have a rising sign. So on the day that you were born, you have a sign that was in the horizon, and then you have your where you fall. Okay, so that is, and I will, I have heard you guys have requested me to do a series on where we fall, and I actually think that's a fabulous idea because you know me, I'm kind of like that dark little astrologer that tells you all the dark stuff, and that's just because my Saturn is in the 12th house. And so I want to tell you where you fall in the psychological process and get down to the nitty-gritty and the darkness inside you, and nobody understands that better than me. So I will do that. I just want to acknowledge the people that have asked me for that. But today we're talking about Neptune in Pisces retrograde opposing your sun, and then we have Pluto and Capricorn retrograde opposing your sun. Okay, I had to do that because I might be sweating. I'm sorry. It's so hot in here. We don't have AC in Washington because rarely do we get days that are 100 degrees. But today, it's a day where I wouldn't have a little AC. Okay. As the lights are beating down on me. Okay. When they quincunx each other, that means they're having a struggle over power. Pluto is the planet that rules our personal power. And it is in retrograde right now. So it is extremely realistic, right? It wants us to identify ourselves in our core, in our sun, and be truly authentic and beam of light of like, do you understand how powerful the sun is? The sun on this earth makes everything grow, right? If we didn't have the sun shining, if something blocked the sun, like say if an asteroid came down and created a big death storm, everything would die without this Leo sun. So today, you are having something emphasize your need to shine, but it's going to oppose fantasy, illusion, unrealistic expectations. It's going to oppose the unconscious realm, right? So we're talking about a personal power struggle with inside us, inside the core, with who you are, with what you authentically want. So people are going to try to tell us what we want today, right? People are going to judge us and choose our path. But our sun, our core, our inner roar is going to say, yeah, I know you think you know me, but you don't know me. Because if I were to choose my inner roar, if I were to choose my path, it would go down this way. But because I am succumbing to what society or what people or what groups of people expect of me, this is what you guys are wanting of me. And I just want you to understand that it doesn't have to be that way. Like, you don't have to settle for that. And I think today is challenged because your inner roar needs to shine no matter what area it's in. So today we have a water trine. And this is really important to understand because we have at the top of your water trine, we have Mars in Cancer, and we have the Moon in Cancer, and we have Saturn in Scorpio. So let's talk about this energy that's going on today because it's super duper important to understand. So Mars is the planet of passion. It's your warrior planet. It's your inner roar. And then we have your moon, which is in Cancer today, which is okay, so your moon represents emotion, and it is in its home sign. So you are super sensitive. I don't care if you don't have Cancer energy in you, or even if you don't have a water energy in you. You will feel this water energy just seeping into you, and it will fill you up, and you will be intense, and you will be unstable, and you will succumb to your emotional aspects in your life. And the other side of this water trine is Saturn and Scorpio. We're just tying up loose ends. We've got the planet of Mars, which is the planet of passion and perseverance and drive and power. And we've got your moon, which is your emotions. And we all know, let's get real. No matter how detached you are, we are creatures of emotion, right? We are creatures that make emotional-based decisions. And I hate this because you know me. I'm in love with Spock. It doesn't matter which series. I love the fact that he's so detached and that he doesn't make any whatsoever emotional-based decisions, because all I do as a Cancer sun, on the cusp anyway, is make nothing but completely emotional-based decisions. So when I get a sexy, spunky little Spock that just makes nothing but logical decisions, I'm like, I'm going to slurp you up like a little Slurpee. Love you, Spock. And so today, our energy is in nothing but intense, raw passion, deep emotion. We are going to feel things on every possible sentimental level that you have. So even if we want to try to make logical decisions, we're not going to have much of a shot at it because there's all this water energy. Now, also today, we have Uranus in Aries, which is in retrograde, which makes it even more unpredictable if you can possibly imagine. Actually, I think it makes Uranus a little bit more subdued, but it is definitely still unexpected, don't get me wrong. It is squaring off with Mars in Cancer and Pluto in Capricorn. So today, I have to tell you that today I feel that there is going to be a lot of interpersonal struggle. Now, here's where I think it's going to come down to. I think that we're going to want to make logic-based decisions based on what we should make, right, in our given situation that makes sense to all. But we have all of this emotional energy and this unpredictable energy in Uranus and Aries, we're going to want to make self-oriented decisions that please us on a superficial level in our emotional well-being and in our personal power. So if we, say we're staying in a family that we're not happy in. Logic tells us that this is just a rut and that we are going to make it through and that we need to stay in our family for better, for worse, right? Today, however, is going to challenge that thought process. It's going to say, I know that you think you need to stay in this relationship because you made a commitment. It was based on longevity of the situation. However, you're not happy. Emotionally, it doesn't charge you. Emotionally, it doesn't sexually allure you. Emotionally, it doesn't feed you. And your emotions are if there is somebody in the situation that does do those things, you're going to want to center upon that and you're going to focus on them. And logic is unfortunately going to go out the window, which will make this Sun in Leo quincunx in Neptune and Pisces today and in Pluto and Capricorn. And so you're going to give your personal power away a little bit today on an emotional level to get what you want. It is very, very personal struggle. It is very, very personal for everybody. It just depends on where you're at in your relationship. And so I just want you to understand also, I'm telling you this week is going to be an intense week, and I'm not going to lie because I never do. Saturn in Scorpio is going to be squaring, Venus in Leo, which is in retrograde, Jupiter in Leo, and Mercury in Leo. So Saturn, the planet of karma, the planet of, and it's sitting in your emotional level. So the planet of karma is making you pay back emotional debt. It is holding you accountable for the emotional issues that you've caused in people, and it's making you face emotional issues. It's making you intense. It's making you see where you lose your power. Because remember, Pluto rules Scorpio, right? And right now, it's in quincunx with your sun. So I think what you authentically want to make a decision on, what logically makes sense, if you were to look at the stability of your situation, you were going to make a decision, right? It would be based on, I want to live this lifestyle. I want to be here by this many years, and this person can take me there, right? You're going to be making decisions based on that. Or you're going to choose a job that is based on, if I were to climb the ladder and use this current degree, I would befriend that person and then I would get on board with what they see as my future, and I would kind of smoosh and network with them, right? But I want to tell you that there's too much water energy in here for you to live quite that authentic and quite that driven in a superficial value. Today, in this water trine, there is absolutely no way that you can be quite that logical. You can't Spock this shit out. It's not happening. You are vulnerable with your emotions. You are driven by your emotions. You are driven by intensity. You are driven by the need to fulfill your desires. And Uranus is going to make some unexpected things happen that make you want to pursue yourself emotionally versus logically in Pluto. That's why you have this quincunx today in what you fantasize your life to be, the idealistic life you be, versus, and that is your authentic calling, right? But you have the longevity of Pluto saying, you know, you can't base your life on these whimsical fantasies of water energy. It needs to be based on somewhat logic and somewhat longevity. And water is not solid energy, right? The earth, solid earth is energy. You can't build a house on water, right? Well, actually, there are water houses in Seattle, especially. But they're a special house. So if you want to build your house on water energy, there's a special consideration that you have to do, and you have to go through all these permits, and you have to really take a look at what it's going to take to get that house floating on water, right? So that's really extenuating. But if you were to build your house on solid ground, on Pluto energy, on Earth, on raw, just like where I stand, and I stand up and I stand tall, and it's solid footing, right? You can't build it on all this water energy. And so today you're going to be caught between all this water energy, especially in Saturn. It's going to be somewhat karmic. You're going to be thinking about your heart. Today is all about heart. Heart doesn't make sense, okay? It doesn't. You know, water energy doesn't make sense. It's emotional. It's deep. It's intense. It's delicious. You know what makes sense? Pluto energy and Earth energy and constructing your life on solid ground and building slowly and energetically to create a life that will eventually give you the stability you need. That is tangible. That is valuable to me. That is what I identify with logically, right? But emotionally, if I were to rely on the emotional energy today, I gotta tell you, I'd get lost in all this delicious water energy, because you know me, I'm a water-based sign. And so this, to me, does not let me rely on this Pluto and Capricorn energy, which is why Uranus is going to square off with Pluto energy today, and it's going to create this upheaval. It's going to be emotions versus stability. It's going to be emotions versus solid ground. It's going to be emotional waves and heart and soul and power in just emotionally driven decisions versus solid earth energy. You're going to find that today. And I'm just going to be honest with you. Anyhow, today is definitely an interesting day. I know that you guys will find it a little spicy for most of your taste. I know that I am ingesting it and I find it spicy, and I am a water energy. Anyhow, thank you so much for tuning into Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again tomorrow.